Moscow has pounced on the deepening Poland-Ukraine feud, with former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev unleashing a furious attack on Ukraine's political elite. As Kyiv and Warsaw clash over history, honors, and national identity, the Kremlin ally is now accusing Ukraine's leaders of openly exposing their true beliefs. The explosive remarks came after Poland stripped President Volodymyr Zelensky of the Order of the White Eagle, the country's highest state honor. In response, Zelensky and former Ukrainian presidents Leonid Kuchma, Viktor Yushchenko, and Petro Poroshenko moved to return their Polish awards, turning a diplomatic dispute into a full-blown political spectacle.
After Zelensky was stripped of the Polish Order of the White Eagle, the servile subjects of the non-existent Ukraine also refused similar awards. The conclusion is simple. 4 of the living former leaders of so-called Ukraine, Kuchma, Yushchenko, Poroshenko, and of course Zelensky himself, since he's a former leader too, by returning their orders, have admitted that they are 100% genuine Nazis.
Medvedev claimed the mass rejection of Poland's highest honor amounted to an admission by Ukraine's current and former leaders, dramatically escalating the rhetoric surrounding an already bitter dispute between two wartime allies. A bitter feud is erupting between two of Europe's closest wartime allies. Ukraine has issued a blunt warning to Poland, declaring that every unfriendly move from Warsaw will now be met with a response from Kyiv, as a dispute over history and national honors spirals into a diplomatic crisis.
Disrespect towards the President of Ukraine is not only about awards, it is about disrespect towards the Ukrainian soldier, the Ukrainian people, and our right to have our own history. We will not tolerate this. We will mirror all steps, especially if those steps are unfriendly and disrespectful towards our country. The time of ignoring such actions has passed.
Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha accused Poland of crossing a red line, saying disrespect towards President Volodymyr Zelensky amounts to disrespect towards Ukrainian soldiers, the Ukrainian people, and their right to their own history. He also launched a stinging attack on Polish President Karol Nawrocki, calling him a destroyer of years of progress between the two nations.
It is no coincidence that he is receiving applause from Moscow. We speak with our Polish friends every day about how to preserve the diplomatic track. We are united by common challenges, common interests, and a shared European future.
The row exploded after Nawrocki stripped Zelensky of the Order of the White Eagle, Poland's highest state honor. The Polish president defended the move by citing Ukraine's glorification of the Ukrainian insurgent army and warned that countries embracing the cult of totalitarianism and violence should not expect a smooth path into the European Union. Kyiv hit back immediately. Sybiha, Ambassador Vasyl Bodnar, and Presidential Office Chief Kirylo Budanov announced they were returning their Polish state awards. Zelensky then escalated the symbolic standoff by sending the decoration back to Warsaw by post.
Getting entangled in the political conflict between politicians in Poland and Ukraine is a strategic mistake that will cost both sides, in business, geopolitically, and reputationally. And in politics, as is well known, a mistake is worse than a crime. In conversations with my European partners, I try to minimize the losses and reduce the tension. It is not an easy task.
Alarmed by the growing confrontation, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk stepped in with a public warning, saying the feud risks damaging both countries economically, geopolitically, and diplomatically. As Moscow watches the dispute unfold, one of Europe's most important anti-Russia partnerships is facing one of its deepest public ruptures since the war began.